Hello in TV land, it is your boy Freelancer Joe, ready to once again get cracking. And how are you all doing on this fine and wonderful and glorious and magnificent Thursday afternoon? At least it's Thursday as I record this, and if all goes according to plan, Thursday as I upload it. Although not necessarily Thursday when you see it. Not that I've checked my viewer stats, but yeah, I talk a big game about people craving my content, but it doesn't necessarily look like that. So I live in a state of denial by never ever checking my stats. And you know, it works for me. So, hey, ignorance is bliss. Hey. But yes, it is a beautiful Thursday. It is a very spring-like day. I think we're up to the mid-60s right now. It's great. I mean, it was a little cool this morning, dipped just below 40, but now it's really, really good. In fact, you know what? I have to pause again. I'm not going to pause, because I'm not going to pause. I'm going to go open the window again and let it air out some more. So thank you for bearing with me. If I was more on the ball, I probably would have done that before I started recording. Unless I did that on purpose. Which I did. I'll admit it. I'm an honest guy. I am, believe it or not. When I say I do things, I do things. When I say I didn't do something, then I didn't do something. Not that it matters to some people. Yes, well, I hope you're doing fine and wonderful and fantastic. As for myself, well, based on what I just said, you probably, if you're very, very perceptive at picking up those subtle cues, yeah. Let me go ahead and start setting things up while I jibber jabber some more about that. And let's just say your boy Freelancer Joe feels something bad coming. Something, dare I say, life-altering? More accurately, potentially life-shattering. And not just for me, but for somebody else too. Technically, it actually started last Thursday, but it's boiling to a head, I think. I mean, I think the decision was actually made a while back, but you know, it be what it be. Alright, so we've got the terminal up, and we've got the editor up, and let's bring up Firefox. But despite that, I'll keep the brave smile on my face. You know, it's funny. No, it's not really funny, but it's interesting that you hear about people suffering from depression that have committed suicide. Not that I'm ever going to do that, because I would never deprive the world of all of this. But you hear it, and then they talk to the friends and family, and like, oh, we never knew. He was always so happy and smiling and joking. Here's a hint. If somebody is smiling really, really hard, for no real reason, they're trying really, really hard. And maybe, just maybe, you should keep track of how they're doing. What is this? Firefox is already running. Got 2 Firefoxes? Really? Well, I got something running. That's because I clicked on that and it didn't do nothing. Thank you, PS to CF, pipe grep Firefox. That's a lot of Firefox processes. Alright, let's try closing Firefox. Clear. Let's try that again. I should really only see the grep. Okay, there we go. Let's start Firefox again. You know what it was? It probably read a double click, I imagine. But yeah. Just because somebody's smiling doesn't mean they're happy. And that's the really sad part. The reason they're smiling, partly, is to try and feel better, and also so that they don't impact other people. Which, if other people had the same concern for them, they might actually ask, It's the gentle souls that last the shortest. It is a cruel, cruel world, full of liars and manipulators. But to some extent, I kind of admire that. Not the liars and manipulators part, but the things that they'll do for that. Ooh, I'm dropping them subtle, not subtle hints, am I? Not dropping them subtle hints, but certainly dropping hints. Alright, let's see. CD projects, UI, LS. We were working on the template sidebar. In the middle of upgrading everything again, because I took that extended break, or as I called it, the deviation in my schedule. And trying to warm myself back up to providing you with this sweet, sweet content. I'm going to use sweet a lot because I won't be able to use it in any other place anymore. Okay, so we did the history. Did we run the... We ran the install script yesterday. So I don't believe we have to do that again. Although maybe we could. I mean, what else have we got going on? You know what's heck with it. We'll run it again. Clearly, I'm not. I'm not fully into it just yet. Since nobody's paying me for this, not yet. Yeah, might as well. Might as well. We'll just sit back and relax. Let it run. Let the computers do all the work. Oh, did I talk about the seltzer water? I've completely forgotten if I've talked about the seltzer water. So this is, what is this? Blueberry. And this is strawberry. I might not have talked about it. And if I did talk about it, I'm going to talk about it again, because I've got nothing else to talk about. No, actually, I have plenty to talk about, but nothing that I'm going to talk about. Maybe. But yeah, so I am, of course, an avid LaCroix fan, but the cost was eventually getting to be, well, eventually I started to realize that the cost was just a tad high. $5.99 for a 12-pack, which I get 4 of those a week, so I mean that's $24. That's not an insignificant price. And then you also have to factor in the fact that sometimes it's kind of tricky to get it. Sometimes the places I go to don't have them, so I was looking for an alternative, and that's why I tried the Waterloo. And I do actually like the Waterloo. It's a suitable replacement for the most part, although I still prefer the LaCroix. But the unfortunate problem is that it's at the same price point. So I was like, that's great. That's terrible. So I tried, so what is it? Canada Dry actually has a seltzer water. I tried that. It's not bad. I think I would do it more for drinks with Joe, to be honest, because they have a nice lemon lime one that goes great with vodka. But it's not something I would prefer to drink on a regular basis. Plus, I think it's not that much cheaper than LaCroix's. And I tried Deer Park. It's not bad. It's alright. But it didn't really grab me. But then this is the off-brand. Well, let's see, I shop at the Giant. So this is the Giant stuff that they have. And it only costs $3.69 a pack. And to be honest, it is very, very close to LaCroix. Now, it's not a complete, it's not like they just bottled the same LaCroix stuff in a different can. So it's definitely different, at least to my sophisticated tastes. But it's really close, I think, and it's a perfectly good substitute. The only caveat, 2 caveats. Okay, number 1, the cans are kind of thin. It's must be part of the cost savings thing. Actually, 3 things. Okay, number 2, I don't know what it is about the blueberry. This is blueberry. But the blueberry, if the can gets shaken just a little bit, I mean, it takes forever for it to settle down. So if you have a blueberry and you accidentally shook it, even if it was a couple hours ago, I suggest opening it over a sink or a trash can. And the third thing, the most unfortunate thing, they don't have coconut. And I love me some coconut. Coconut's the best. Coconut is the thing I want. Which is interesting because during my deviation from my schedule, I actually came to the realization that I suffer from a very specific allergy related to what is it called? It's like it's foods that contain traces of nickel and something else or something else. Anyway, it causes a bit of an allergic reaction. You get blisters in your hands or your feet. And well, it took me the longest while to kind of piece it together. But number one, brown rice triggers it for me. I think it's nickel and niacin, maybe. No, whatever. But brown rice is one trigger for me, which is, it's supposed to be the healthier alternative to normal rice, but, well, there you go. And interestingly enough, coconut, but not coconut oil, not coconut flavor, but like the coconut meat, that triggers it in me too. So, coconut macaroons are out for me. I don't know about coconut juice, but like shredded coconut, whatever, yeah, that's completely out. But coconut seltzer water, yeah, perfectly fine. So I don't know. Man, I ran out of that. I was thinking I could probably stretch that out a little bit longer, to be honest. What are we at now? Enhanced Resolve. I'm not sure which package that's for. Resolve. It sounds like something to resolve. Resolve, obviously. Symbols for the script language. That's what it sounds like. It's a lot of that low-level stuff that I really don't particularly care about. Loaders are, of course, for Webpack. And, Thursday. In the old days, tomorrow would have been a half day for me. But because I switched projects and because of another reason, I switched back to a full 5 days a week. It's actually, I'm going to say 9 hours at work, although I only charge 8. Not because I take lunch, but because of something else. Something else that I might not have to do anymore. Something else that was my pleasure to do, but I'll probably relate the story during Drinks with Joe. Probably, it depends. Like I said, I have that feeling that the bad thing is coming, but you don't know for sure until it happens. It's like that slow, that slow motion train wreck that you can't help but turn away from. It's just the unfortunate problem is I'm tied to the I'm tied to the train track, train derailment, the slow motion train wreck, and I'm tied to the train track. You can't help but admire it. I can't anyway, but I have. Yeah, don't let anyone else know this, but I actually have a pretty dark sense of humor. I think I may have mentioned that before in one of my earlier episodes. I do have a deeply dark sense of humor. I mean, I don't laugh at twisted stuff, but I find it just as appalling as the next person. But some things, just like, okay. I think I've talked about this before, that the two healthy psychological reactions to bad news is either suppression or bad events. Suppression, which is different from repression, and then laughter. Finding humor in it. That's the only way. It's my preferred way of dealing with, I don't want to say misfortune. It's not really misfortune so much. Fortune indicates luck. Luck indicates things beyond control of people. You know what I'm going to try to do today? I'll probably I am going to go ahead and try. Ooh, yeah, so we were talking about gaming with Joe. I was like, I wonder, I should try. I'll try. Ooh, I don't know how that's going to work. So the idea is that I would try to do the game DVR from this laptop, and my Xbox is in the other room. Before I would have my old laptop connected to the same network as my Xbox in the other room. So I thought since this laptop is on the same network, I could just use this. I don't want to use the old laptop because it drops the wireless connection. But the problem is this guy right here, the mic. I mean, unless I shout from the other room, and this cord isn't nearly long enough to reach. I could see if the wireless headset picks it up. The headset I use for playing. I could see if that picks it up. It might record the audio, in which case I could just use that. Yeah, but that means playing with that headset on for a while. Which, I mean, I do anyway, but when I'm playing with my buddies, my boys, not that they're going to be on. So the two other guys I play with, not normally, but when I'm online playing at night, on the weekends, it's them. One guy got a new job, so he's like crisscrossing across the country, so he's probably not going to be on. And the other guy, so he built a new laptop for himself, and he got the Division 2 for free. And he's been playing it on his new laptop. He's like trying to get everybody else to buy it, but I loves me some Division, make no mistake about that. And I'm impressed with what I've seen from the Division 2 and read. But games as a service, I'm really getting tired of it, for one. Number two, I'm not going to get it for my laptop. I mean, I understand why people play those types of game on their PCs and laptops, because it's better graphics, and with the mouse and keyboard, it's a lot easier to control. Two problems for me, though. One, alright, I don't use my laptops purely for relaxation. You know, it's a mix of things. Sometimes entertainment, sometimes a distraction, but mostly it's work. And I spend the entire day in front of a computer at work. And then we have this is doing work. So, why would I settle myself in front of a computer for entertainment? It just doesn't work for me. That's one. And number two, I prefer to play in a very relaxed position. So, it's not going to work with a mouse and keyboard. And if I'm not using the mouse and keyboard and I'm using a controller, then why don't I just play on a console? So, I would only play on the PC as a matter of, you know, I got nothing else going on. So I'm thinking about actually getting new games. You know what, I'll save that game talk for my gaming with session. Gaming with Joe session, which should happen in a little bit. Alright, we are at the Material UI packages. So next up will be like the Lodash and what WG and Fetch. I'll have to run the npm audit fix again. And then we'll start it up, and then hopefully we'll remember how to get that NOEnt fix. NOEnt. You know what, just to save some time, let's bring up that note I wrote for myself about the NOEnt fix. So I kind of pretend that I'm doing work. Double click it. Register the double click again. That's why I got that Firefox is running message before. Yeah, we got log level, class names. And this was in notes. It was something like npm rebuild this specific package. Excuse me. Spread out, here we go. If NOEnt, yeah, there we go. That's the line. npm rebuild jpeg tran bin. But you know, aside from that impending storm that's going to come and dump rain, oh, we're going to get rain tomorrow. That'd be very picturesque for the bad thing to happen. My life would be just like a movie. I mean, normally it is like a movie, a bad comedy, but I mean, it'll be like one of those bad romance movies instead. Ooh, I let that slip. Oh, AWS Amplify. Man, I need to play with that some more. I'm still iffy on that, though. I mean, I don't mind using packages to communicate to an API, but I do not like I want to say, encapsulation of how they do it, because then that get tied into the using the AWS Amplify package. So if I wanted to move, and I mentioned this before, if I wanted to move to, say, Microsoft Azure or a different cloud, period, I can't just change the REST calls. I would have to rip out that entire package and change everything else. Now, I could still put a manager in front of it, which I guess kind of hides things, but so I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily want to place my eggs all in one basket. Commitment is a serious thing. And how are we doing on time? Pretty good. Let's see. A little around about 10 minutes. This is almost done. That'll take about, let's say, 2-3 minutes to start. We got to run the fix. All right, here we go. We got npm audit fix. Well, let's see what the issues are first. Sudo npm audit. I don't know if I have to sudo the audit, but I probably don't. JS YAML, really? Moderate denial of service. Okay, which is a dependency of the image stuff. And, okay. So basically what it's saying is that these three packages, which are dependent upon JS YAML, there are three packages which are dependent upon JS YAML. JS YAML has a potential bug in it that allows a denial of service. Alright. Which is, something you probably want to fix. I'm not sure how they would fix it, though. Do they get an older one? Do they get a newer one? The whole package management thing, it's very, not surprisingly, it's very complicated, extremely complicated. Do I want to say it's above me? Of course not. Of course not. It is, however, something that's actually so low level, in my opinion, that it has no interest to me at all. Alright, so let's start it up, and we should get the error. It'll be interesting if we don't. Actually, you know what? We might not, because I might not have any JPEGs in this project. And Webpack is supposed to be smart enough to only load things that it needs. Although I could also check to see if it actually is in there. And you know what? If that binary or that executable isn't in there, then I'll go ahead and run that thing anyway. And then we'll, see, it loaded up just fine. Now, it's entirely possible that they may have actually fixed that. Alright, well, let's check for warnings. Web developer, web console. Okay, no warnings there. No warnings there. No warnings there. No warnings there. View 3, which I doubt is going to have any issues. No warnings there. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if this works still. And that still works too. I didn't actually try it with the other one, but okay. Yeah, and still no warnings. Okay. So that's looking mighty, mighty good. But I still think that underlying issue is there. So I already cleared that. Now let's see. Where was I supposed to be looking at? Okay, in the JPEG tran bin vendor. Okay. So ls c ls node modules. JPEG tran bin vendor JPEG tran. So it does have it. ls. And it's an executable. So, yeah. Alright, for some reason, when I ran the install script not yesterday, yeah, the day before, on my website, it wasn't able to build. And yet now, when I ran it on this, it built. Ooh, you know what it could have been? I'll tell you what it could have been. So I ran this yesterday, and I reran it again now. It could be that the second time I ran it, it actually did the rebuild. Ah, that might do it. That might do it. What does that mean? Well, the next time I do an upgrade, we're just going to run that first script and see if it happens again. That could be why. That could be why. I may have actually done the rebuild on that second execution of the installation script. Okay, but anyway, it's working, so that's good. Let's see. Git status. Git commit-am. Upgrade. Git push. It says via pushed, and we will double check GitHub. Okay, it is GitHub. Yep, thank you. No. And definitely don't show that password. That'd be very, very bad. Alright, template sidebar updated 27 seconds ago. Okay, so we're checked in. And, yeah, we're close enough to the 30-minute mark, so I'm not going to start another one. Which is just as well, because we got Gaming with Joe tomorrow, and then got Drinks with Joe on Saturday. Assuming I'm able to keep the momentum going, the big Mo for the big Joe, you know, I got it. Even with the looming catastrophe, there's the benefit of having a nice routine. Believe it or not, you should have a nice routine. It can offer a distraction of sorts. You may not operate very efficiently at your routine, but at least going through it keeps you moving, and hopefully it keeps your mind off things. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap this one up for now. Thank you for joining me. Cool kid words about liking and subscribing, commenting, and suggesting. And I hope you join me tomorrow for Gaming with Joe. I know that's not some people's cup of tea, but I make that content for those of you who do enjoy it. Plus, you can see me fail every now and then. Well, more in a different light, because I fail at this too. And then, of course, Saturday's Drinks with Joe. But anyway, I hope you join me next time. But until the next time you join me, I hope that you take care and God bless.